Okay, well, welcome back. We're on to lesson 4, and we're going to have some fun today. This is where you really get to play around. Let's take a look at some of the tools we're going to be using today. There are 4 types of selection tools that we are going to work with. The first one is the geometric selection tool. As you can see, we've got the rectangular one, the elliptical one, and then we have ones for columns and rows. The second section are the freehand selections, and that includes the Lasso Tool, the polygonal Lasso Tool, and the magnetic Lasso Tool. The third one is going to be edge-based selections. And if you take a look at the selection tool, we're going to use this tool to kind of paint around a selection. And then the colored-based selection, we are going to use the Magic Wand tool, which will select parts of an image depending on the pixel color. So today we're going to make a little bit of a collage. I've placed a few pictures on the bottom of this document, and we are going to select those and move them around, bring them up to the top. Let's first start by enlarging our image so we can see it a little bit better. And we're going to use the quick selection tool to begin. You select the quick selection tool from the tool panel, then take a look at the option bar. We want to make sure that the auto enhance is selected. And then let's make our brush size 32. What's kind of nice about this particular selection tool is that it finds the edges automatically, and you would use this particular tool if you had really strong contrast with your background and your image. And once you've done the selection, you can move your selection simply by going up to the toolbar and clicking on the Move tool, and then moving the selected item to where you'd like it to be. Let's try the Elliptical Marquee tool, and we're going to make a copy of this image. So we're going to select the Elliptical Marquee tool, and then we're going to go over to the image, and we're going to start to draw the selected area by holding your mouse down. And to move what you're doing, press down your space bar. This makes it possible for you to reposition your selected area so that you can make it as close to what you need as possible. And when you're done, lift your finger off the mouse and you'll see the selected area. Well, let's zoom out. You can copy and paste it. And if you copy and paste it, if you take a look over to the right hand side, you'll notice that it created a new layer with that object. Now, this is nice if you want to have control over what images are in front or in back of each other. Now let's take a look at the Magic Wand tool. Your Magic Wand tool is going to select pixels of a particular color or color range. So again, this works really well if you have an image with a very sharp contrasting background. Well, let's first enlarge our image so that we can see the cat better. There he is. All right. Maybe a little smaller. We want to be able to get the entire image easily. Let us first select the rectangular marquee tool, and we're going to create a box around the cat. And now let's select the magic wand tool. We want to make sure the tolerance is 32. We have a point sample, and that is the subtract from selection button. And then you're just going to click on the white area, and there you have it. Our little gray guy has been selected. So now we're going to move him up with the rest of the composition to the top. And now you can see that he is sitting on the background layer. So if I move it over to layer 1, you'll notice that it goes behind layer 1. Alright, the next tool we're going to talk about is the Lasso Tool. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's my least favorite tool because I'm not good at it. I don't have a steady hand. But it's a great tool to use, so we'll give it a go, okay? What you want to do is go over to your toolbar and select your lasso tool and enlarge your image so that you can see the image that we're going to work with. And we're going to work with the shell next. When you're working with the lasso tool, what you will do is first click with your mouse on the edge of the image that you want to trace, and then start tracing it. And then if you have Windows, if you press the Alt key, or if you have Mac, you press the Option key, and you keep tracing and release the mouse, you'll see that the icon changes to the polygonal lasso tool, and it starts putting anchor points along your image. And as you can see, I am not great at this, but it does get easier with practice. I'll show you the next tool we're going to use is the one that I prefer to use. So again, to switch back and forth from your lasso tool to the polygonal lasso tool, you're going to, for Windows, press Alt, or for mouse, press Option, and then release the mouse button and move to the next area, click the mouse button, and each time you click the mouse button, it will add anchor points. And then when you want to draw again, just hold your mouse down and start to draw again. Just keep an eye on how the icon by your pointer changes, and then you'll know what you're doing, whether you're with the lasso tool or the polygonal lasso tool. Boy, this class is a tongue twister for me today. So my tracing is a hot mess, but I'm sure you will do better than I did. Let's zoom out and move our shell up to our composition. Okay, I want to rotate my shell. I'm going to go up to Edit, then over to Transform, and over to Rotate. Now you can see that you can rotate it, and you can also see the angle that's rotating toward. Take a look at it. I'm going to rotate a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to move it around, see maybe, where do I want to put this thing? maybe there? Nah. Nah. I'll put it right here. So I'm going to deselect, but wait, I have to apply the transformation. So I'm going to apply the transformation first, and then I'll go over to my select and click on deselect, and that deselects it. An easier way, and one you've seen me do before, is just go outside of the document field and click on the gray area where my cursor is right now, and that will deselect it as well. Alright, now we're going to use one of my favorite tools, and it's the magnetic lasso tool. This will make your life a little easier. So the first thing we want to do is zoom into our image, and we're going to work on this adorable cow. And we're going to select the magnetic lasso tool. I'm going to pick an area of my image and click it once, and then start tracing around my image. And you'll see that it will grab onto the edge of the image I'm tracing around. What's nice about this is you don't have to have a steady hand. You can kind of just trace around the general area, and it will grab the area for you. It will grab the edge for you. It's very nice. And it plops in points as you move along. And those points are related to the number in the option bar, and I'll show you that with the next image that we do. So these points are pretty far apart. The number is 57. So you'll notice I'll get into some areas where it's not going to know where to grab, so sometimes it doesn't do a fantastic job. And that can be resolved by changing that number. Again, we'll do that with the second picture. So I have a friend of mine who does collage. She's a collage artist, and she layers a lot of images, and this tool is so great for her. Alright, and then once you click at the very end, it selects your image. So you click it once to start, and when you go all the way to the end, you click it again, and it selects your image, and then you just move it around. So I just deselected by selecting the magic wand and clicking outside of the image area. Now we're going to do it again. We're going to do it with this little blue jay, so let's blow up that blue jay. But we're also going to change how many points will be added to the area. So again, magnetic lasso tool. So what we're going to do is go up to frequency and change that number to 100. And now when I click on the blue jay and start tracing, you're going to see several more points, and that's really going to give us more of a detailed clip. Just follow it along. There we go. It's looking good. We'll just keep following it around the image. And so right now I'm just doing the outline of the bird, but if you want to remove the white space between the legs and the tree that I'm not doing, you can do the same thing after you've moved your bird and then just delete that area or fill it with the background color. Now let's enlarge it a little bit. So let's go over to your Edit, Transform, and then Scale. And I'm just going to rearrange it. I'm going to make it a big bird. And I'm going to move it around so it's got its own area. And then I'm going to click my Move tool and Apply. And then I'm going to click my magic wand and deselect the area, and as you can see, there it is. So let's say you have an image that you want to duplicate over and over and over again. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to go to my Elliptical Marquee tool again, and I'm going to select the little screw head there. Going to move it over, make sure that it's highlighted properly. Yeah, that looks good. There we go. Now I also have to make sure that what I'm selecting is in the right layer. So now I'm going to have to go over to my layers, and since that screw is on my layer 1, I'm going to select my layer 1. Alright, now to copy the image, what I'm going to do is hold down my Alt key if I have Windows, or my Option key if I have Mac, right over my image, and then move it. And you'll see that it is going to duplicate it. Make sure that you select the Move tool, and then you're going to hit your Alt key or your Option key. So Alt if it's Windows, Option if it's Mac. So play around with that. It's such an easy way to duplicate your images. So if you are doing, for example, collage, and you want to have a repeating pattern of an image, this technique works great. Alright, so let us merge these two layers, and you can merge them by selecting both of them and right-clicking, and then selecting Merge Layer or Flatten Layer. And now it's all one image. The next thing I want to do is crop it so that I can get rid of the bottom part. So we're going to click our crop tool, and then we're going to pull the little handle up and then click return. Or pull the little handle up, and as a different way, instead of clicking return, you can right click and select crop. So that's what we're going to do today. These are some fun tools for you to play with. Write any questions you have down below, or if you have some good tips, share those with us too. Also, if you are enjoying these videos, like them for me and subscribe, and most importantly, pass it on. Alright, see you tomorrow. Bye.